Welcome to Cornfedbar, only on the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ka-ching, filler up. It's me, yours truly, the first billionaire podcaster, the Daniel Plainview of podcasting, the Caucasian copperhead Dalton Pruitt, and this is Cornfedbar, the show in which I react to Redbar reacting to stuff, to content, to very podcasters, comedians, whatever he's reacting to, whatever I can find that tickles my fancy that he's reacting to, I'll react to that, to him reacting to stuff. And it's been a minute since I've done one of these. This is Cornfed Bar 4. It's been a little while since I put one out. I had some big projects come across my desk. I have some big things I've been working on that have taken up a lot of my time and attention. And but now I'm here to do another Cornfed Bar. One of the big projects I've been working on the last few weeks, I'm very excited about. We've done a few of these already so far. Is a little program called The Crowder Boys, which features myself, Robbie Goodwin, and everybody's favorite, Crack Amico. Crack Amico being the infamous rapper who recently released the smash hit diss track, Two Bears, One Grave, in which he folds up Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. And that's pertinent for what what we're doing here today, because happy day. I'm glad I found this. This here is Redbar reacting to Dr. Drew and Ari Shafir and all the Legion of Skanks fellows. My old friends. I guess I was friends with them. I think Lewis and I still keep in touch here and there, and then whatever. I'm a man on an island these days, just drifting along, and I have a few people throwing me some preservers to pull me back ashore, as it were. But this is Redbar. He's reacting to the Legion of Skanks, reacting to Crack Amico's track. And folks, the track is bumping. The diss track it's really good. It's like a really great blend of like being like silly humor and also just like good musicianship. I am like, I do admire Crack's ability to do what he does, especially I think he's just like in his room on a laptop making these things. So he's a very talented guy, and I am grateful to be working with him on this live stream show we do. The Crowder Boys, step into the arena of ideas with the Crowder Boys. Prove my mind every Wednesday. We are taking a bit of a different approach with how we do the show. It's a live stream, so you can tune in live, join in the chat, donate money. But we're alternating the channels that it's on each week, so we're keeping everyone on their toes. But this Wednesday, it's actually going to be on Crack's channel, youtube.com/@CrackAmico. And it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time on Crack Amico's channel. It'll be a live stream. So it'll be me, Crack, and Robbie live. Join us in the Libtard live chat. And let's have a good, step into the arena of ideas. I got a pretty big, a worthy combatant lined up to step into the arena with us, a valiant warrior. So it's gonna be our first guest ever on the stream, and it's gonna be quite the face off. But that's all I'll say about that. We're gonna get into this. This is Redbar reacting to the Legion of Skanks, reacting to Crack Amico's Two Bears, One Grave diss track, in which he tackles, does verbal pugilism against Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. So let's get into it.
Do you know who Crack Amico is? He's a rapper that makes songs about comedians. Mean songs about them. Here we go.
And probably not really.
Jay, you're really funny.
Yeah.
And I like your hair.
Crack, I have a suggestion. Do a who we didn't start the fire with all the comedians that are better than me.
Oh my God.
So you've got Ari Shafir on the show. You've got Dr. Drew Pinsky. And then, of course, the Legion of Skanks, Dave, Ricky, and Lewis.
Pinsky, huh? Should we check Dr. Drew's early life tab on Wikipedia? Curious what kind of name Pinsky is. Never thought about it that much, not until the events of October 7th. And now I stay quite abreast of early life sections. Hey, let's continue. Jules, this is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Now, what's interesting here is you've got Dr. Drew. Now, Dr. Drew was just let go from YMH Studios. Remember, he had a big show on there, Dr. Drew After Dark. And he was just let go for having the lowest view counts on the network. I know they play games, Tom and company, pretending, oh, no, it's just Dr. Drew was so busy. Okay, he just happens to have the lowest viewed show on the network, coming in at around 36K average views. For Dr. Drew, at this point of his career, 36K views on Tom Segura's network that has 1 million subs. So that's despicable. That's deplorable, as Hillary would say. But what's interesting is we're going to hear this big Tom and Bert diss.
Can I say something? Of course I can. I'm the only one talking. This is my show. What is Dr. Drew's deal? Like, I know that years ago, Stanhope, comma Doug, he had a great bit about Dr. Drew, and so I'm not just going to try and recreate that here, but it is curious to me how there does seem to be more and more of this kind of guy that exists now, where it'll be like a professional in some like well-respected field like medicine or physics or whatever it is, but like Dr. Drew was like an actual medical doctor at one point. I guess he still is to some degree, but now he's just mostly a personality. Like for the last however many decades, just been a personality, like the Ryan Seacrest of doctors. It's weird. I'm trying to think of the right adjective. It's odd because people that I guess you would think that you would hope that a lot of people, that the people that are getting into medicine are doing so out of some sense of virtue or altruism, that they truly have a desire to help people and take care of them, like the like Brad Dourif's character on Deadwood. He was a doctor who it seems like he just wants to help the sick people in this burgeoning community in the American frontier. And then as time has gone on, and sensibilities have changed, and industry and technology have advanced and developed, and we've have the media as it exists today, it's become more and more apparent that should one wish to really secure for themselves money and wealth and true freedom, medicine ain't it. That'll get you, a membership at the country club. You can go golfing, you can go on cruises here and there, but you might, you'll be stuck somewhere in the 6-figure range, just being a lowly doctor. Whereas if you can make that jump from doctor to guy who just talks to just a guy who talks in front of a camera, I guess that's where the real money is. It's a really strange turn of events that happens, I guess, due to the prevailing forces of I don't know, capitalism and what the media offers. I don't know. It's something that like boggles my mind, that somebody with like real skills in medicine and a history of actually doing medicine and understanding it and understanding like the human body and how to help people would make the transition to just being a guy who talks, just being a personality. But if you're thinking about your own bank account, that is, hey, that's where the money is. But it's just not. Is it, I don't. It doesn't seem like these kinds of guys like Dr. Drew or Andrew Huberman or any of these fucking guys are working out of any doing what they're doing out of any sense of real altruism or like humanity. There is a tinge of selfishness to it. It does reek of I want to make a ton of money now because medicine just wasn't wasn't cutting it. Which I guess makes sense considering the people that when I was in college I knew a ton of people that were pre-med and they were not motivated by like mostly were not motivated by any desire to really help people. They were motivated by like the income, like what kind of money they could make when they get out of med school and like work as a doctor for a number of years, you know and of course they're saddling themselves in hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt. But then I guess like working as a doctor you'll pay that off, and then you get to drive a nice car and go to the country club and I don't know, vacation, have nice vacations. And that's, hey, but that's not enough for some people. Dr. Drew's got to be famous. What an awful, honestly, what an awful famous doctors. I mean, what a disgusting. To be honest with you, fucking disgusting that there's famous doctors. Yeah, you a doctor seems like somebody like would be ideally you would think that like a doctor would be a humble caregiver, someone who's devoted their life to like providing medical care and treatment and helping people, and they would not want they would not be caught by the trappings of fame and fortune, for that was never their desire. And that the natural demand, the natural necessity for a doctor would allow them to procure a living that would keep them comfortable and allow them to do their work in helping people. And it seems like a job, like a truly like a job that, yeah, ideally would be virtuistic. Is that a word? Virtuous. There's like virtue to it. There's no virtue in being a media figure. It's the media attracts narcissistic sociopaths, like like everybody that's like trying to be in media. Myself, Redbar, Dr. Drew, Ari here, all of it's just like different shades of Patrick Bateman. So I find it really fucking disgusting that there's famous doctors. Uh this is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
And Dr. Drew's going to be there the whole time. Now, is he going to laugh at some of the jokes against Tom and Bert? Let's find out. Guys, why are they silent now?
No, he's having technical difficulties.
I got muted. All right, here they are. Watch this.
That's a way better idea than mine.
Yeah.
We didn't start the fire?
Yeah.
Damn.
Crack Amico, just do what you're doing. Don't listen to these fucking guys.
This that one.
Follow your heart. Giving you fucking assignments.
Well, listen, this song's a little bit critical.
Let me say something else. This whole smoking indoors thing feels very contrived. This seems like such an affectation, just trying to recapture what once was. Because I remember growing up, especially in the South, in the like mid to late 90s, and then even into the I mean, shit. Even when I was in college, in my college town, you could still smoke indoors in a lot of bars. I remember when people could smoke indoors, and it always sucked. It was always just like a nightmare, because everywhere you went, every room was just filled with smoke, and your eyes would burn, and you'd leave smelling like fucking sick. You'd smell like shit, and I always hated it. And I guess there is like a Mad Men cool factor to smoking indoors, but it was just never an enjoyable experience for the people that aren't smoking. And even for people that do smoke, there's tons of smokers who were like, I'd rather just go outside and do, like, I hate the fact that this place is filled with smoke. But then when it was restricted, when it became prohibited, there was all of a sudden this like desire from a lot of guys to be able to smoke indoors again. And so now I guess whatever the workaround is, if you're doing like a live performance. It's technically some sort of fucking theater or something where you can like light up a cigarette if you're on a stage. And it does seem like a lot of guys that you see just like smoking indoors now are doing it just to do it, just to like prove, just to show like, hey, I can do this, despite the fact that there's laws against this now. When it just comes across as very forced and put upon. I mean, look at Redbar's doing it now. He's smoking a doob. Big J is smoking a cigarette. And nowadays it just looks like, it really looks like people are just trying to look cool. And there's nothing more lame than when anyone tries to look cool. What's really cool is looking stupid, is looking retarded like me. That's what's really cool, is just not caring, but also abiding by this country's smoking policies. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Critical, I understand.
I haven't seen it.
Of the man who pays Dr. Drew's bills. And his wife's here.
No, I don't think Dr. Drew's
Dr. Drew's gone. He left him.
He left.
He's not in the house.
Your mom's house.
Yeah, not there right now. No.
Damn,
Dr. Drew is out.
Dr. Drew's gonna love this song.
I'm gonna say Dr. Drew.
I left on. I mean, I have nothing but peace and love.
Dude, you shit on a desk? You
Oh,
shit on Tom's
shit.
desk?
I shit on his desk.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
on
not
his
a
chair. Not
dude,
guys.
There's so many podcast networks, and there's so few that you can quit, and then I can go, oh, you moved.
Okay, Dave, shut the fuck up, Dave.
Yo, guys, saying without saying it, Dr. Drew ghost written.
Can somebody build a Chrome extension where it cuts out Dave Smith's crap? Really, I might have to physically jump him at his house for this to stop. I don't want to hear him talking on my show, ever. Now, Big J, I'm a big fan of. Lewis,
if
I'm a big...
this was just these two, I would probably watch the show every day.
Yeah, but we can't watch because Dave Smith and his libertas views
Wrote this song.
Wow.
Play it, y'all.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's a song.
I'd like to say I don't have an unkind thing to say about Dave Smith. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Crack Amico. It's just a diss.
Make sure the room hears it loud.
I won't be bobbing my head to this.
This is it. Man, these fat motherfuckers ain't funny. They ain't giving nothing, all they do is take money. And it's so gay, they getting paid. That's why I'm putting two beds in one grave.
Oh, you know what? It's such a shame that you got to hear this through the Legion of
Because it does
Skanks
bang harder. on
audio
YouTube.
processing.
Give Crack Amico a view on YouTube.
Yeah,
as well.
please go give him a real view because they're cutting down his audio to
Yes, please go give credit. Hey, I second what Redbar just said as he reacts to the Legion of Skanks reacting to Crack Amico. Hey, everybody, go subscribe to Crack's channel, watch the video. Let's run it up, baby. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
nothing here. You know, they're taking something that was 4K, turning it into 280p, really degrading the audio. That's what the Skanks do.
And it's so gay, they getting paid. That's why I'm putting two beds in one grave. Dig 'em up, ay, two crack in the bitch, I'ma hit 'em up. Gotta get back to the money, got millions, I stick 'em up. You might stack a lot of money, but your soul ain't getting saved. Hey, it's two beds, one grave. Follow Rogan like some faggoty bitches. Pretty sad that we magically knew who cat really dissing. Some raggedy dick quiz, careers tragically slipping. And that's why McAfee see you in that dramatically different. It's actually gotten.
I want to be like one of the old people in like a music video where I'm like all
Stop pausing it. Listen to the song. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
cranky about this song, but then you know how they do that? I'm gonna just celebrate with this, and I know if I were Crack Amico and this guy's pausing and playing the shitty version of my song, trust me, and that's why I say go give him a click.
Yes, and everyone's sending this.
Okay, well, he's at least aware of what he's doing, and I'm pausing it now. Just listen to the goddamn song. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
This is the audio without the Skanks. I know.
No, I know, but we want to show
Dr.
you
Drew's reaction.
with the Skanks because we need the reactions, unfortunately.
But you guys definitely go watch that one too.
I'll back up a little bit so you could hear.
Listen to it many times.
I'll play the whole thing, but then I'm a Hassan Piker. I'll get called out for not reacting. You see, this is a push and pull, guys. With us streamers, I consider myself to be a Twitch streamer, and if I'm not reacting, they call it empty chair.
Just
mic.
do a lot
empty
of
chair mic. I can't.
Facial reactions.
No, I can't. I got my whole face. They said don't do any big reactions this week because I got fillers.
Hand reactions.
And they said don't move your arms too much this week.
Okay.
Okay, here it is.
like a lot of money, but your soul ain't getting saved. Hey, it's two bears, one grave. Follow Rogan like some faggoty bitches. Pretty sight that we magically knew who cat really dissing. Some raggedy dick quiz, careers tragically slipping. And that's why McAfee see you and act dramatically different. It's actually gotten your reputation drastically shifted. Something's burning, I think you got too many hacks in the kitchen. When I break my foot off in your ass, you gon' be practically shitting and pissing and wishing that we would drink your maggoty liquor. Got a rich lawyer dad, you ain't never had to suffer. He worked for L. Ron Hubbard. G, baby, need a saving.
They're running it.
Bitch, why you keep taking them anabolics, losing weight, but you still got the face of an alcoholic.
Shut up.
Watch you drink more liquor to fuck him up quicker than I get fucked up for saying the word nigga. And that's what you get for making these dumb bitches pay $10 for 69 minutes. Time you gotta get back to your old gimmick instead of wearing gay clothes and popping that Ozempic while you're counting gold nigga. Play around with your little shrimp dick. Better let the real father come over and see his kids, bitch. More than just a richer kid. Why you acting broke when your dad in the mirror lit your biz? Now
So I know I have to pause it again. I really was curious to see what Dr. Drew would be doing, and I'm kind of puzzled because I thought he'd actually be laughing along. I actually suspected Dr. Drew would be overly laughing at some of these points about Tom being rich and an asshole. However, when they cut to Dr. Pinsky, who I've seen for many years for a few behavioral things, when they cut to him, he's actually not laughing, and we see a different Dr. Drew, quite different from the Dr. Drew that was, talking and having a good time before this video played. And you're going to see it especially after. It's very interesting to me that Dr. Drew is kind of worried.
I gotta say something else about Dr. Drew. And first off, I wish Redbar would just listen to the goddamn song all the way through. But while we're on this, okay, so isn't like Dr. Drew was like a medical doctor, like he did like actual, I don't know, medicine, surgeries or prescribed medications or like whatever. But then like when he was on TV, he's like talked a lot about like people with addiction and like psychological issues and stuff like that, which that doesn't like none of that makes any sense because there's like specialized fields for like each malady and issue or what, specialized fields of medicine. So you would have like a general practitioner and then a podiatrist who does feet, proctologist does butts. Like for all these different parts of the body, there's like a specialized doctor for it. And then like for issues of the mind, you have psychologists and therapists and psychiatrists. So if Dr. Drew, made his bones as a like doctor in medicine, do like working in hospitals or doing surgeries or whatever, that doesn't qualify him to also be like an addiction expert. To be like a guy who, is able to help celebrities with their fentanyl and Vicodin problems. That's like a completely different field of medicine and research is addiction. So it reeks to me of hucksterism that you would have a guy who worked for many, many years doing like one thing, and now all of a sudden he's an expert in these like psychological issues as well. Because I've been to doctors before, and typically like medicine doctors, like the guys who work in hospitals or general practitioners or whatever, they're not very good at communicating or being nice or soothing people. They just have like this one special thing they can do, and they're really good at it, and they can do that. And then if you need someone to talk to about your other issue, your mental issues, you would go see that kind of doctor. And so I find it's curious that this guy is somehow this thing that doesn't even exist in the world of medicine, which is like a jack of all trades doctor. That there's no such thing. Like, I mean, I've had just like physicians before who say nice things to me, but that's not their job, and they're not there to like help with those kinds of issues. You also would go see a therapist for that sort of thing. And so Yeah, I'm inclined to believe that Dr. Drew might be a bit of a confidence man, a bit of a flim flam artist. Given the fact that, and it's, there's a lot of those guys: Dr. Drew, Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, where somehow they're a jack of all trades, and then also a master of a few. It would seem like they're just really really good at all the fields in which they study. I don't buy it. I don't trust it. But maybe that's my natural genetic inherited distrust of doctors. I come from a long line of southern hillbilly rednecks, and we don't like doctors. We don't mess with doctors, okay? The panacea to any of your maladies would be like a Coca-Cola and some bourbon, or some sort of spirit, some sort of hard alcohol, hard liquor, and then maybe a Coke or a Diet Coke. And then you wait, and then you're back at your job, working in the prison guard or farmer or whatever, the sort of desperate, desolate lives of men in the South, in which you never see a doctor, and your medicine is hard liquor, and your job is to stop inmates from eating their own doo-doo. And that's kind of my history, and that's I just have a natural aversion to doctors. I don't try, I kind of just don't trust them, and I certainly don't trust a goddamn famous doctor. I don't trust the Ryan Seacrest of doctors here. But maybe I need to try and evolve from my own prejudices and biases. But hey, it is what it is. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
About this song, and especially worried about his reaction live on air to
He's
a song
sure to cover them out.
that is dissing really rudely and meanly Mr. Lynch, Tom Lynch, which is his real name because his dad from Merrill Lynch. Mm-hmm. Tom Lynch is the guy's real name. All right. So keep an eye on Drew and Crack Amico. I'm sorry. People are going to have to go listen to this somewhere else.
I'm just a richer kid. Why you acting broke when your dad in the Merrill Lynch biz? Now we resting in peace and it's got my heart torn. How you forcing your widow mommy to do that fart porn? I'm here policing comedy. Fart porn? Got no talent, swear to God they hit the lottery. The last Skank fest, them comics were saying hi to me. This year they gonna be quiet like they got a tricky out of me. I'm aiming at your temple, I got no need for apologies.
This is my favorite part.
Motherfucker stars and I don't believe in astrology. Now have a stand-up comedy, can't stand me like neuropathy. I turn my sociopathy to self-fulfilling prophecy, baby. I hit 'em up.
Okay, watch this. We're about to be featured.
Gotta get back to the money, got millions, I stick 'em up. You might stack a lot of money, but your soul ain't getting saved. Hey, it's two bears, one Kreischer. Hey, he's a big fat liar.
Fires.
He needs to retire. Motherfucking Bert Kreischer. Yeah, he's a big fat liar.
My scene's coming up.
He need to retire.
I'm coming up here. My big part. There I am.
He keeps going, by the way.
Now it's me reacting to Redbar. Oh man, we're through the looking glass here, people. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
And I'm making them drop. Bert Kreischer movie, his body gon' flop. 69 minutes, his body gon' flop. Take off his shirt, I'ma take off his top. We know that story about Russia is fake. Work with the mob or you fucking
We got
insane.
another plug coming up.
With your 3 favorite homies, the closest you coming to running the train. Oh, girl, looking lonely, man. Better
Jesus, damn.
Cause your joke's bad now. Joke world is your only fan.
Joke world.
Tommy Segura, no Joe Rogan made you. Fit in the game, but tonight I complete. No broken arms, I'm bringing you home. Them shots and you gon' paramedics won't save you. Good job fucking
Listen.
pussies, man. All that money, but you still down bad. Trying to
Coming
suck
up.
Shane Gillis dick. Sucking Joe Rogan fat dick. Throwing Tony Hinchcliffe clitoris on God. Redbar radio anthem. Click Balba shots at
Redbar radio anthem.
Homies run together like a tandem. Fuck when my man get abandoned. No for the ransom. Temper tantrum is what I'm gonna have. Scope AK-47 when I'm gonna grab. Motherfucker running, I'ma hit him in the back. Confidence fake as your motherfucking laugh. You got raped.
All right.
Okay. So there it is. And here is Mr. Pinsky. I don't even know if he's a doctor anymore now that he lost his show with the network on YMH. I would just call him Mr. Pinsky. Here, right?
I gotta say, crack is kind of another example of how pretty much just everyone except comedians are extremely talented. Because the song itself is not only good, but I've watched his actual video a number of times, and I am also just very impressed by the video itself. That just like my friend, a hip hop fellow in North Carolina is doing like all the graphic design and animations and like cutting this video together just on his laptop. The video for the actual video for the song is really impressive, and it's like the restrictions that he's dealing with, like the lack of access to like resources and money and just the ability to make a music video, but like what he was able to like put together is really creative and pretty admirable that he just is like doing this on his own, and it's like garnering the attention of tens of thousands of people. Dude, crack is awesome. And yeah, I mean, Redbar is right. It is like, it's ridiculous that Dr. Drew would be clutching his pearls about this. Like, why does this guy feel? I don't. That's the thing I don't get. Like, why is everybody always trying to save face in like whatever you want to call it, the entertainment, like media, the entertainment industry? Everybody's like already pretty successful and wealthy. There should be more just talking shit and like biting at each other. The dog, let the dogs fight, Michael Vick style. Because it's we all saw it with the cat when Cat Williams went on that dumbass's show, the Shannon Sharpe show, that motherfucker, that fat tongued idiot. I'll say I'm very good at talking, obviously, but man, Shannon Sharpe is just a complete dunce. He's a horrible communicator, terrible at broadcasting, and he just like mispronounces words and seems just very like empty-headed, and made tons and tons of money on that one interview. But I mean, that was like a great showing of how if you're already successful and wealthy, you could just like say whatever you want about anybody and you're fine. People actually like it. And so this like trying to keep up appearances and this whole thing that Dr. Drew is doing here, where he's like, oh my word, my Lanta, somebody insulted the people who fired me, seems counterintuitive. Fight back, man. Grow your fucking nuts back and be a goddamn man and tell these motherfuckers what's up. Because it's only going to help you. You don't have to save face with these people. You don't have to save face with anybody. You could actually just stop working forever. That's the other thing. You'll be fine. But this is the way poor people think. I guess is the things I'm saying is how poor people think. Like, oh, you could just like you get to a certain level of wealth and you could just stop working, or you could just do whatever you want. But to get to that level of wealth, you do have to remove all of your, do away with a lot of your humanity and honesty to climb those ranks and reach the heights that Dr. Drew has. And so perhaps he doesn't remember how to actually be human. His soul is dead, and there's just nothing there behind his eyes. Perhaps. But that's what it takes to get that money. So I guess I'll do that too. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Right now, and he's still making that same face. I'm dying to hear what he says, but more importantly, dying to hear what Bert Kreischer has to say about the diss track. Okay, not just a fun, cute song. There's nothing really that crazy in there, right? But they're going to call Bert Kreischer on the phone here. They're going to send him a link to the video. Bert's going to listen to the video. Then he's going to call back into the wonderful legion of Skanks minus Dave. And he's going to share his thoughts on this. So Well, this is almost a Redbar in the wild. Dr. Drew Pensky has seen me. The Legion of Skanks, they've seen me every day of their lives. Ari Shafir, he's seen me every day of his fucking life. But now we have confirmation that Bert has seen me because Bert's watched this Crack Amico video. He sees me going, and then he heard Redbar Radio Anthem, and he goes, "Oh shit, this Redbar." So let's. I'm dying to hear what these
I
two
think you
have
can.
to say.
Oh yeah, play it a little more here.
Yeah, let's play it here.
Pretty solid. Amico.
Guys, you can catch me and Dan Soder on every date of Fully Loaded tour this summer. Bert Kreischer's Fully Loaded. Me and
Keep
Dan
an eye
Soder
on
on
that
every single date of that festival.
Ooh, he's
Are our
nervous.
names really little on the poster? Sure.
Oh man, that's
He's what you know what he's doing here? He's Pat Dixoning. You know what that means?
Nope.
When you're acting like a total bitch and a loser.
What I say? I pretty much said the exact same thing. Dr. Drew's acting like a bitch, and he did. There's no need to. You know, your wallet is fat, sir. Ball out. Be the wild and reckless. Reclaim that which you sacrificed to get where you are. Now that you are there, and be a fucking man. Okay. That's the thing. Me and Crack and Robbie, all of us at the Crowder Boys, we're never going to give that up. We'll make our bones being fucking men, and we'll get to where we want to go without losing anything, without losing any any part of ourselves, because we are magnificent broadcasters, and Crack is also he's the most talented out of any of us. He actually has talent. But yeah, this is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
You hear that, Pat Dixon? I'm calling you out. Everyone let Pat Dixon know it's over for him. Redbar's doing the Dixon files coming up. 2 years.
Are you guys excited?
All Dixon.
Oh my God, we didn't even get to talk about this last episode,
Yeah.
but for like 2 weeks, I was so obsessed with Melton and everybody going to Atlantic City.
Atlantic City, they did a big trip there.
Oh, it was a whirlwind. You had to be
Yeah.
there. But next up is coming Hackamania.
Hackamania. This is great. So this is Hackamania is Melton himself.
Is this just like a Jocktober thing? Or you do Redbar? Is Redbar doing Jocktober? Okay. It would seem that we all become the thing we hate, huh, Redbar? This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Trevor from Who Are the Podcasts, which is
Here, let's see the official lineup. One sec.
You've got Pat Dixon. You've got Asian Pat Dixon, I think, is going to be there as well. Ryan Katsu Rivera. But Patrick Melton is hosting a big event, and maybe
Ray
you guys.
DeVito, this ugly guy from Who Are These Podcasts, Pat Dixon, Melton, and a puppet man.
And this is it. Where is this?
Sin City, baby.
Sin City. You guys could get tickets to Hackamania and see Melton live. And you know what? Tell him Redbar sent you, but in a good way, and now you're a fan. Tell him I'm a fan of
Earl
you.
Skakel is
Earl
also gonna be
Skakel is
there.
another friend of the
Isn't
show.
he your
Okay, it's not Jocktober. It's not something Redbar is doing. But I am now just realizing that the entirety of Redbar, his entire ethos, is Jocktober. So all of Redbar is just doing Jocktober. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
BFF? You should talk to him. You should try to get the inside scoop on
Yes,
Hackamania.
Earl, if you're listening to this, I would love to get some Hackamania tickets. Patrick Melton is producing his first show back in years. Melton, since Edinburgh, I don't think we've seen him do a stand-up show. Well, I mean, open to the public like this. So I'm dying to go. If anyone could get tickets or knows any hot seats, deals, I would love to do that. But this reminded me of something how Pat Dixon carries himself. And I find, by the way, I'll tell you this, I find Pat Dixon to be quite the lowlife. Really, I do. And you know what? Chrissy Marr and that whole crew, they're low lives.
Tell them, stand on
and
business.
I don't want you anywhere near them. Not on this show. Go to Steel Toe.
Or Melton.
Okay, so
not Dixon.
Keep your eye on this, Pinsky. Big J's going to do some soft white underbelly stuff here, too, with Bert. and you're going to catch this, and then you're going to see Lewis being demand and being a real ass dude. I'd love to talk to Lewis. He won't return any of my texts anymore. He's through with me. He
That's
said,
not true.
"Oh no, yeah." The last time I tried to talk to him, he goes, "You talking shit? You talking shit? Come say that shit in New York. Come say that shit." He really did a voice memo. He was furious. He said he's snapped. He goes, "Mike, I've snapped. I've had enough of your shit."
Who can blame him?
And then
He's under a lot of stress. He fights with people on Twitter 24 hours a day. You can say anything in the world to him, he'll answer within seconds.
turns out, so he says, "Mike, I'm sick of." I go, "Really? We're just kidding around. We're a big."
That's one of the more interesting aspects of Lewis's personality, I would say, because I'm very active on Twitter because I ain't got shit going on. So yeah, it scratches some itch. It fulfills some part of me to tweet a bunch and then respond to people and pick fights and troll and all that. Because my life is pretty empty and meaningless and seemingly without hope. It's very curious that Lewis, who a man who has defied all the odds and beat every expectation and achieved like such a monumental level of like wealth and success for himself, like far greater than what was ever he like honestly he should be dead by now. Like if we're being honest, given like Lewis's upbringing and just who he is as a person, what was expected of him was to like probably die in his early 20s and leave behind a child, and another orphan. But he didn't. No, he didn't. He's like extremely successful, probably much more wealthy than he lets on, and is like living a comfortable life. And yet he still like finds the time to get into fights with people on Twitter, which is something that somebody like me does. And I guess you gotta, hats off to him. I guess he's doing it for the love of the game, or just that bark in him hasn't died. That dog ain't died down yet. The dog ain't still barking, as it were. Like I don't know, the fighting spirit of the Puerto Rican. That fire burns within. It's just if I was doing well, if I was actually like at a point in my life where I was like doing okay, I probably would just not use Twitter. But given the fact that I just like kind of need it right now to constantly get attention and funnel people to this channel and all the things I'm doing, I just have to. It's just a tool I have to use, and therefore I must troll. But I guess Lewis is just trolling because he for the love of it, which there's something admirable there. But I would if I was doing as well as Lewis, I probably would not engage in Twitter that much. Because I mean, look at like most other successful people who are like actually really successful, like Lewis's level and above, are like really just use Twitter to promote things here and there, but they're not that active on it because they don't need to be. Twitter is for the dregs, the proletariats. It's a utility made for the to placate the lesser thans of our society, and those that have risen the ranks and achieved some semblance of personal wealth and success really don't need it. Maybe they lurk. They might lurk to keep up with news and now, most of the app is just like gore videos and right-wing talking points, but they don't post. But I love posting, right? I post. I certainly post. I'm good at posting. I'm firing off, 60 to 70 posts, tweets a day, but so is Lewis. And in response to people with like 16 followers, he's like responding to people who have like 16 followers that are just like reaching out and telling him like, hey, the fucking gas digital website doesn't work, you suck, I'm canceling my subscription. And then he's like, fine, I fucked your mom. And it's like, well, you're in your 40s and you're successful and you have a child, Lewis. I don't know why you're doing this, but hey, I salute you. in your constant endeavor to troll people and rattle their cages. Anyway, this is a bit of pontificating on the Puerto Rican mind. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Supporters, he goes, "Oh, I thought this was Mike Baker, the ex-CIA operative that you see on Rogue. He thought it was Mike Baker, so he's yelling at him. To me, he said, I'm so sorry about that. I'm so glad we cleared that up because that would have been a terrible. He said, I got a new phone. I thought it just said Mike. I thought it was Mike Baker from the CIA. So, but Lewis fucking rules. Give him some high points for me because Lewis has been doing great.
I do want to say that I wasn't necessarily criticizing Lewis just now or saying anything negative about him. Just find it curious. A lot of his behavior I find curious, but Lewis does rule. He's a very good. Honestly, the thing about Lewis is he presents this very tough, gritty exterior, which is not true for any comedian. Comedians are very soft, sensitive people, and generally incapable of functioning in society on any level, and that's why they have to do comedy. You have to kind of work around the system because you don't possess any of that which makes you an actual man, and so you have to talk a big game and weasel your way into this world. But as such, Lewis has built something from the ground up and is a very generous guy. When you strip away the all that ferociousness, there's just a big old teddy bear in there, and he is very community minded and wants to help people, and he's moderately funny. I do love Lewis, and I appreciate the fact that in spite of everything that's happened to me, he's made some effort in keeping in touch with still supporting me in some way. I've been the shitbird. I've been the one that as I've gone through all my just fucked up health problems that I just was not talking to anybody for a long time. But Lewis is still in my corner to some degree, and I do admire what he's done and what he does for people. So he's a good guy. He's a good egg. He's a good plate of chilaquiles, which that's not really a Puerto Rican dish, but is some sort of Mexican Hispanic shit. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Dave Smith, though. Dave, will you ever...
Huevos rancheros is what I was trying to think of, not chilaquiles. Although I think chilaquiles also has eggs. He's a good egg. He's a good plate of huevos rancheros, a good plate of chilaquiles. Anyway, oh man, I'm hungry. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Away some of his high points.
And I challenge Dave again to a boxing match, which he will never do because he's a legion of pussy. Him and his family, that screwed up fucking family. Lewis's family is fine. Jay's family is beautiful. And I like Big J did the right thing. He buttered me up over the years, remember? And now, guess what? I'm friends with Big J. And I allow him a pass,
soundboard
and
is
I
killing
let
me.
Stuff slide, and I'm being dishonest over him. Get it? Ari Shafir, I give a big pass to. I let clout blind me. Get it? All right, let's see these reactions here, and more importantly, Bert. It's kind of a Redbar in the wild.
You got to go so how did I feel about that Crack Amico song? I thought he raised several good points.
God damn, he's so good.
Does he go after you guys?
He's so good. He loves everybody.
He loves everybody. He has.
So was that him? He goes, does he go after you guys? So he found that Dr. Drew, this little pinhead, a little confused here. He heard this rap. He thought it was really nasty. And he goes, does he go after you guys too? And watch their response here.
God damn.
Speaking of Pinhead, this is kind of off topic, but I think it's interesting to note that the classic horror character Pinhead that we all know, the leader of the Cenobites of the Order of the Gash, as seen in the Hellraiser franchise, is not canonically not named Pinhead. From what I gather, Clive Barker was never partial to the name Pinhead, which was given to the character by fans of the series. It was a moniker that was, put upon that character by, just fans who enjoyed the movies. That the actual name of the character, what he's known by, according to Clive Barker, is the Hell Priest. And Pinhead being, a bit of a, nickname, an insulting nickname that was given to him by the fans. So much so that in the extremely shitty sequel book that Clive Barker wrote to the original Hellbound Heart novella, which is the sequel is called The Scarlet Gospels, which is conceptually a cool idea. It features the like supernatural detective character that was played by Scott Bakula in Lord of Illusions, which is a character in some other Clive Barker books. Harry D'Amour has to go up against the Cenobites. The Pinhead has been brought, or the Hell Priest, forgive me, has been brought back, and Harry D'Amour has to team up with like other magic type folk and go to hell and like fight the Cenobites or whatever. And so it's like a cool idea in terms of just like as a plot, it sounds cool, and like world building, like building this like bigger the Clive Barker extended universe, to have that character now interacting with the Cenobites. But man, it is a dog shit book. But there's a scene in the book where I think Harry D'Amour insults the Hell Priest by calling him Pinhead, and Pinhead, the Hell Priest, is like, I don't like that name or whatever. And so that was like Clive Barker's nod to the audience that like, I do recognize that this is what all y'all call this character, but that ain't what I call him. That's not his name. I mean, just honestly very gay, because he's Pinhead. He's got pins in his head. And I mean, the Hell Priest sounds cool, but I mean, you come up with a design where the guy's got pins in his head, we're gonna call him Pinhead. Which is, I guess, Dr. Drew kind of does look like Doug Bradley a little bit, to be honest with you. If Dr. Drew went full bald, and crisscrossed his head with wounds, if you sliced his head in a grid pattern and hammered pins into each cross section, he could probably pull it off. Anyway, this is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
He's so good.
Dude,
Does he go after you guys?
He's so good.
He loves everybody.
He hasn't
But by
done
the
a song
way-
about us yet, but he's dissed everybody.
But by the way, he loves all of it. He loves Bert
loves
Kreischer.
them,
He
too.
loves Bert
He's a
Kreischer
fan.
and Tom Sawyer. He's a
No,
fan of all
I
of us.
don't think
I
he
would
likes them, guys.
This is great. So this is where we get the big white soft underbelly here with Big J. Big J is trying to make a case to clean everything up. He sees Dr. Drew here. He knows Doctor works for Tom and Bert. It once worked, still works. I bet there's some fishy stuff going on. And he wants to make sure, this isn't turning into a Redbar hate channel. So he's going, oh, no, Crack Amico is actually huge fans of all of us. He just does he's a big fan of Bert and Tom, too. And Lewis steps in to correct him. Watch
He
this.
loves Bert
them.
Kreischer. He loves Bert
He's a
Kreischer
fan.
and Tom Sawyer. He's a fan
No,
of all
I
of us.
don't think he
would
likes
think.
them, guys.
You're wrong.
I think he likes one. Read the fuck. You're reading the subtext here. No, I promise you.
Now that
he
Lewis,
doesn't like them.
Now that Lewis mentions it, kind of seems like he doesn't like them.
No. Stop.
Big
You think
J.
it comes from love.
Yes.
He's definitely.
Big J. Let's do
I can assure everyone that Big J is wrong. The Two Bears One Grave, the diss track Two Bears One Grave, is a passion project by Crack Amico. The passion being hate. He does not like Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. He doesn't like either one of them. Big J is so wrong about that, and that's probably one of the more insulting things that's being said right now about Crack Amico, is that he's actually a fan. That is not true. Crack Amico is certainly a fan of money, so if Bert and Tom were to offer him a good chunk of change to do something with him, he would take, he would capitulate. I would hope. I encourage him to. Like, I'm not a big fan of those guys. I'm not a fan at all, really. But if you give me enough money, I'll be a fan of anybody. I do not, I have no real convictions. My conviction is the bag, securing it, getting it. And I want the same for crack. Get the money. In this economy, times is tough. We gotta keep our eye on the dollar signs, on the dollar bills. As we all know, cash rules everything around us. Creus. Uh, and but yeah, Big J is absolutely wrong about that. He's just trying to keep the peace, maintain equilibrium. But physics and biology tells us that true equilibrium is death. And what has Crack done? He has felled the two bears and brought forth upon them their demise, their death, and buried them in their grave. Thusly, two bears, one grave. And that is true equilibrium. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Redbar Zoom, huh? I'm Big J. There's a meme about you. And I'm not going to sing it, but it goes, "Why the fuck you lying?" I saw this on H3. They would use this about you.
Oh, Crack Amico the official in the chat says not true.
What's not true? That he doesn't.
Big
that he
J's
likes.
live.
There we go.
Why is Bert trying to do this maid service here? Why is he trying to clean up the room? Is he afraid Dr. Drew? He could sense Dr. Drew is uneasy about this song, and he can't believe that they're bashing Tom and Bert on this public forum. And I think Big is picking up on that, and he's starting to do panic here into cleaning up this mess. But Lewis, because he's real, because he's Puerto Rican, because he's the owner, along with that freak. Have you seen this other owner of Gas Digital? Frankenstein Kumia guy? What's that guy's name? That's a freak. Lewis,
Ralph Sutton.
I'd love to step in as co-owner, clean this place up.
Who you're talking about?
I would like to do a big cleanup of that Gas Digital. I tell you, I'd fire almost everybody but Lewis, and I'd clean it up with all associates and professionals from LinkedIn and get that place cleaned up. And frankly, I'd get a whole new location for the offices and the studio. I'd get rid of all their board ops, all their equipment, all their lighting. We'd really tear it back to basically to scratch. Okay, so we got Crack Amico in the chat. He's saying you're lying. So maybe Big J needs to be, we need to start writing to his shows and getting him canceled off shows, maybe calling some of his sponsors, huh? What do you say? You want to get behind me? Let's do this. Let's call everyone Big J works with, create a lie, a really nasty homophobic thing, and get him. Let's get that livelihood.
No.
From under it. No, let's take his livelihood.
He doesn't care about a homophobic thing. You got to make up a lie that'll get him canceled with the Libertarian Party.
Oh yeah, you will. It's a custom lie that you use for each place, depending on what they're most offended by. And again, let's take his livelihood from him. I think it's time. So tell Bert that Redbar's planning an underground livelihood heist, and it's going to get real nasty, and there's not much you could do because you don't want to feed the fire, give this guy attention. This could get legal, too, because I'm about to break the law with this. I'm about to...
They love that song.
I'm ready to lose it all to do what I need to do over this. For Crack Amico, who is in our chat right now, going like this. And Dr. Drew, too, I'd like to take your credibility from you. Watch this shit.
Like he doesn't like them.
No, stop it.
You think it comes from love?
Yes.
He's definitely a fan.
No.
He's definitely a fan.
Oh, you
I mean, he knows them very well, that's for sure.
Yes.
He's a fan. Stop it.
I
He's got
promise you
notes. He's
not.
got notes for him. He's got...
I know. I made Crack Amico.
What is he? Bert, what do you have to? I mean, geez, Bert, yeah.
The thing that baffles, I don't understand what's going on in people's minds when they think the fact that people pay attention to certain people and know things about them would make us a fan of them. Most of my time is spent consuming the content and paying attention to people that I like hate. Like I'm just hate watching things. That does not make me a fan. The fact that I know like particulars of Bert Kreischer's life and Tom Segura's life or any of these fucking people. I only know those things because I'm, gathering intel, doing reconnaissance to, on the ops. I'm just don't, I just hate it. This is what Redbar. Do you think Redbar is a fan of them? Like they can't wrap their heads around the idea of somebody investing so much, any amount of themselves into something, lest they were a fan. They can't understand that there's just people who don't like what they do. But there's tons of people who will consume the creative output of quote unquote artists and just hate it. But then now they just know about that person, the things they've said and done. That doesn't make them a fan. That's like most things. Like I don't enjoy most things, but I know about a lot of things that people have done. I'm not a fan of any of them. But these people are living in this fucking fairy tale world where it's like, oh well, he knows about them, therefore he must be a fan. Nope, that is not the case. You need to fucking pull your britches up and get back to the real world where we be hating shit. The spineless sycophant that is Dr. Drew Pinsky. What a bitch. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
Yeah, Bert. Big Bert. Big Bert. Big Bert Okerston. What is the excuse here? I was just telling my audience how you're on the arm, how anything you do, I will lie. I can't lie anymore.
Jesus Christ.
Why would you do this to me? You just got on my good side, and now well, what else is he lying?
We gotta fast forward. Let's see. When does he get to the phone call ever? When Bert calls in. Let's see. Here, maybe? Let's check it out.
Suit.
What's a mecha suit?
Like when you're sitting in like the head of the robot,
yes,
controlling
the body.
Are they talking about Evangelion? What the fuck?
What kind of shade am I getting from this crack Amico?
Dude, it was uncomfortable. It's Drew, man. How are you?
Did you see what Dr. Pinsky does? Dude, it was uncomfortable. It's Drew. Hi, how are you? Look at this.
Dude, it was uncomfortable. It's Drew, man. How are you? I know I'm here with the Skanks. It's ridiculous. But
excuse me?
Hard to.
Oh, you guys are ass kissers.
Okay, do you need a fucking ass kicking? That's my new thing now. I just kick their fucking doors down and beat the living fuck out of people because I've learned that it's good and okay to hit.
Can we get you some sort of like mecha suit?
What's a mecha suit?
Like when you're sitting in like the head of the robot,
yes,
controlling
the body that punches. Yes.
What's a mecha suit? First off, it's a mech suit, not a mecha. A mecha suit would just be like robes and a turban or a hijab. That would be a mecha suit. A mech suit. You don't know Redbar. You don't know you've never seen Gundam or Neon Genesis Evangelion. Pacific Rim, perhaps? Armored Core? You don't know what a mech suit is? These things have been around for decades. And you're such an old man, you have such a dad brain that you call it a mecha suit, and you don't even know you've never. Oh man. Folks, Redbar, this is for everybody. You gotta go watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. Watch the series, and then watch End of Evangelion, which I'm finding out they did. There was like a theatrical run recently. There was like certain theaters where you could go watch End of Evangelion, which sounds fun. But yeah, mech suit, giant robot pilot, a Megazord, like from like a Zord from Power Rangers. Even Power Rangers is fucking 30 years old. You should know what a mech suit is, Redbar. You're like of the age where you would have been a child at the time that mech suits were becoming part of the the zeitgeist. But I guess Redbar was just always too cool for Gundam and Power Rangers and Evangelion. You know who wasn't? Robin Williams. Robin Williams was a bit, funnily enough, was a big fan of anime and loved Neon Genesis Evangelion. which kind of makes sense in retrospect, that a man burdened by existential angst and depression would find himself endeared to Neon Genesis Evangelion, a show that explores on the surface, you think it's just about giant robots fighting giant monsters, but as the show goes on, you find that it's really an exploration into the human psyche and humanity and that which makes us human, and how we connect with each other and form bonds with one another, and that no one person exists independent of everyone else, that our collective existence forms that which is our individual selves, and our our together universal self. And so to know that now these days that Robin Williams was plagued by just so much sadness and feelings of isolation and loneliness and anxiety, and I'm told some sort of degenerative dementia, that he would relate to the relate to Shinji, from the show, that he would see aspects of himself in that character, another character who was riddled with sadness and anxiety and feelings of isolation, and this desire to really just not exist anymore. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
I watch a lot of anime.
The guy who made our Chrome browser can build that for me. So, Dr. Drew, you're being a suck up. Let's see what Bert has to say.
Oh, what was that?
It's a hilarious rap he made about you and Tom.
Yeah, he's obviously a fan of yours.
He's a fan. He is a fan.
It was called
I promise you, he's a fan.
Wait, it was called Two Bears, One Grave.
So, for those of you who don't know, Bert can't think of anything worse than these hit pieces about him. I mean, really, they send him to tears. He'll talk about it. There's so much in between time we don't show you on Redbar. There's a million clips of Bert talking about how he can't do the hate comments. He can't do these documentaries. He can't do these videos. He's going to therapy. This is like a big thing in his life, watching people hate on him. I mean, this is the wife of the party. He wants to be liked every room. I mean, this is Van Wilder from
the article.
The Rolling Stone article. Absolutely right. And he can't get over this. People making fun of him. It's never funny to him. That laugh, I mean, that's a gun to the head cackle of a very nervous man. So don't for a second buy that Bert isn't anything but crushed and humiliated over this. He certainly is. Listen to this.
One grave. Has he not seen it? No, he hasn't seen it. Bert, so hold on, whoa. Yeah. Bert, we're going to send it to you right now. Watch it and then call us right back.
Thank you, Lewis.
All right, send it to me right now.
Okay.
It's a fake laugh from Bert.
That's so great.
Okay, but Drew is not so sure about this. It's not so funny to him. You're looking like a Love is Blind guy named Jeremy. Is that his name?
The cheating guy? Yes.
Yep.
It landed on plastic.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Let's go, fellas. I got a show to do.
Okay. Bertie's back.
Bert's back. He's calling.
Hey, bud.
Oh, yeah, we already heard this.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Bert. How you doing?
Oh, I'm so glad you sent that to me.
First takes.
That guy really has done his research.
I hate that.
That's my point. He's a fan.
He's a fan. He's not a fan.
More about me than my fucking wife. Holy shit. Yeah, that's he's very talented.
Yeah.
I
mean, what do you guys, my grandparents, what kind of, you never heard somebody make a song on the internet before? You got everybody together. You got to hear this song they made about a comedian. It's never been, you've never heard a rap song from the internet? You're really all acting. How did you record this? It sounds like a multi-million-dollar recording, like the Beatles. What is the shock? Why you're all laughing at the simplest lines here? It's unreal.
Flow and everything, and me, Scott is shit together. I have a couple things I hold umbrage with.
Okay. That's what
Hold umbrage with. The grammatically, you would say with which I take umbrage. For you would not want to end a sentence with a proposition, which is not necessarily a hard and fast rule. I think if people can understand the intent of what is being expressed, then it's fine to end a sentence with a proposition. But if you were to abide by syntactic structure as detailed by Noam Chomsky in the his dissertation of the same name, Syntactic Structures, then one would want to say, with which I take umbrage. But Bert has said that I hold umbrage with, which is not how you would say that. You do not hold umbrage, you take umbrage. And I'm, trying to think what holding umbrage would mean. Yeah, I don't, it's, I guess it doesn't matter. I understand his intent, to be honest with you. If I'm to follow what I just said, I do understand what he's trying to say, what he's attempting to express. But as a man who, fancies himself a wordsmith, a man of letters, who makes his living in words and sentences and paragraphs, the spoken word, at least, you would think that he would have a firmer grasp on the English language, but he doesn't. And, comedians by and large are very, simple-minded people. That's what makes them relatable and able to do their job. But the real trick, honestly, is to be smart as hell and then present as simple to maintain relatability and everyman quality. Whereas I think Bert is just pure dumb. Therefore, he holds umbrage with the song. Hey, being dumb also works. If you are just actually stupid, that also works pretty well. The worst is like being dumb and trying to seem smart. And that's kind of the tightrope that I walk, because I've read just enough books to be like kind of knowledgeable and have like a decent vocabulary, but I'm still extremely stupid. And so I kind of want people to know that like I'm smart and thoughtful and well read, but I also very rarely know what I'm talking about with anything, because I'm pretty dumb myself. And so I tend to, use silver dollar words, and I know them. Like, I know the words. I've read them in books and looked them up and have ingratiated them into my lexicon. But in using them, I'm, having fun with words, but also a lot of the times I am unsure of if I'm even using things the right way. Using words the right way, and maybe I'm just trying to seem smarter than I am. And I do kind of get a bit of that from Bert here when he said hold umbrage with. I think he's heard the expression before, take umbrage. He's heard the word umbrage, and he's using it correctly, but I don't think that he would express himself in that way usually. But who am I to say? I'm just a fan of the guy. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
We want to know. Definitely what we want to know. Can you put a picture of Fat Bert up on the screen?
I take umbrage.
What's the umbrage?
Well, the things that hurt are the deep cuts where he goes, where it's accurate, and he's like, you lost all this weight, but you still have alcoholic's face. I'm like,
it's all stuff your father said.
When he's like, you've never had to struggle, you came from a rich father. I was like, God damn it, I didn't know anyone knew that.
I didn't know that.
No, my dad wasn't rich, but it's like that.
Defending himself against a rap.
Amico probably.
Bull fucking shit. Your dad was rich. Dude, rich people always do that. They say, "Oh, my parents weren't rich," or if you ask them about their finances, if you ask them about their finances, they'll either say, "I'm doing okay," or "I'm comfortable." They never cop to the fact that they're just rich, that they're rich as hell. And rich kids always say that shit. My dad wasn't rich. I was not a rich kid. Of course you would say that because you're embarrassed by the fact that you're a rich kid. Like you want everyone to think that you lived a hard scrabble life. Your dad was a fucking lawyer in Tampa. 20 miles outside of Clearwater, and he was prominent enough that he caught the attention of L. Ron Hubbard. Your dad, you grew up very comfortably. Your dad, also, I guess the definition of rich is different for everybody, but don't feed us this line of fucking bullshit that your dad wasn't rich. If you're a lawyer that has L. Ron Hubbard on retainer for any amount of time, regardless of whether, he got paid by L. Ron or not, or whatever the story is, if you're good enough at being a lawyer, if you're good enough at that you've caught that guy's attention and he's now trying to hire you, then you're probably a pretty good lawyer and making really good money. So fuck off with that. Just admit to everyone, stop pretending that you've always been this everyman. You're a fucking fail son rich kid who happened to break out of being a fail son. You're a dipshit rich kid who through your own idiocy and as Norman Finkelstein would say, imbecility, succeeded far more than your dad ever did. But you got there because of, you were afforded a very comfortable existence by your rich dad. You charlatan. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
I knew his dad, it sounds like.
So, Bert, there's a little diss to Crack Amico. It sounds like Crack Amico sounds like he's never met his father. Why is that? Because it's a rap song? You're like Dr. Drew, too? Rappers are just hoodlums from the street? These black demons from the ghettos? I mean, that's what it sounds like here. It sounds like a couple of boomers going, oh, yeah. This guy raps, so it's probably a pretty big lowlife. And you might be right. I mean, have you seen the vultures? Pretty bad people.
Shots fired!
I'm just saying, with that flow, usually they don't.
You're probably right. You're probably
Racist and
right.
hurtful.
He's white, right?
Yeah, he's white.
He's got to be white. It sounds like a white dude. You can tell he's not all there, but yeah.
Why?
He's like Appalachian white.
Not all there.
I've seen worse online. If that's any consolation.
No,
with a better flow than that.
I'm telling you, he's a fan.
No. That was I got to be honest with you. I was a little flattered, because I was just talking to my dad the other day, and he said, he's like, I left a comment on your Instagram, buddy. And I was like, oh, I don't read that shit. And he was like, why not? And I go, well, there's people that hate me.
This is a lie.
He was like, for real?
He goes, I know you should have heard my comment.
and then my dad goes, Dad, there's people that have websites dedicated to hating me. And my dad started laughing, and he goes, you're my son, and I don't think about you but once a week.
This is they've come up with this excuse. He's been dying to use this one out there. Because, then maybe we'll rethink the time we've invested in following you and tracking your life like this. Sure. No, that's going to work. Do you want me to jump ahead here?
What time is it at now?
We are at, it's tough to tell, because it's one of these things where you got to, 59:36, I think.
It'll come up. It's almost over.
Here we go.
He was like, what kind of loser thinks about you that much? I was like,
your dad is a genius.
Amico, Dad.
True.
Sounds like he's been getting harassed, too.
Crack Amico is a fan of the whole universe of all of us. So
another lie. Doubling down, tripling down.
They are fantastic.
They're pretty great.
Yeah, no, I don't. Jay, I think you're using the collective we a little too loosely.
Fair enough.
Yeah, by the way, we're going to send you the song that he wrote about the Legion of Skanks called Skankfest shit afterwards. It's a similar thing that he did to you guys.
Oh, for real?
No.
No, it's pretty nice.
It's really just
Lewis.
celebrating us.
It's super positive, but here's the thing.
Totally get it. I get it.
He did have one shitting on LA comics that you would actually like.
You would love
It
it.
wasn't shit. It was called LA is Gay, and then it just turned into a diss track on Brendan Sharpe the entire time.
What is going on with their audio at the stand? There's like this constant hum, this like feedback that's happening. How have they not figured this out? They've been doing this show for like over a decade live in at the creek in the cave and now the stand. Why does it still sound like shit? That's driving me crazy how bad that sounds. And I'm not like an audio engineer. I don't understand technology at all, but you would think that if you have a team of producers that are putting this shit together for decades, like all these people committed to this, that it would sound better. But god damn, it sounds like shit. Sorry, Lewis. Sorry. No, not sorry. Hey, no need for apologies here. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
It's fantastic.
That's the one you reposted. I checked the comments thinking I was safe, and the first comment said, "You know Bert Kreischer's bitch ass is reading this."
That's right.
Devastating.
That's
trying to get to this
you've
part
heard
where
Crack
Bert does an
Amico before, because you
invitation.
heard the LA
Bert
is
does an
Gay
invitation coming up.
Brendan Sharpe diss track. And it's so funny when it's not you, right?
What I say.
Oh yeah,
I
what
just think he's picking. In order for him to get very successful, I have to get bigger. But we're not working on.
You're pretty big.
yeah, you're doing all right.
No,
You can catch me with Bert Kreischer all summer long.
Yeah, Bert is pretty big. Have you seen the guy? He's a big old boy. That's for damn sure. Probably pushing 300 pounds. I know that I'm over 300 pounds for sure these days. But hey, I'm on my weight loss journey. I've given up sweets. I stopped eating pies and cakes and chocolates. And I've been doing portion control. I mostly drink mostly water these days. I have some 7-Up zeros, Dr. Pepper Zero, Coke Zeros, like 6 or 7 a day. But mostly I'm drinking right now. I got me a Topo Chico. I don't know if it's not coming on the camera. You can't really see me anyway. I'm so small on this screen. But I'm slamming back these Topo Chicos, mineral water, carbonated, bottled at the source in Monterrey, Mexico. The company was family owned for many, many years, since 1895, but within the last few years they got bought up by Coca-Cola, as we say down south. And that's why you now see all the variants of Topo Chico, because it used to be that there was just plain carbonated mineral water and maybe a lime or grapefruit flavor here and there. And now they have like Topo Chico hard seltzer, and it's available in like many, many other, like, it's expanded to all these other regions. And it's because the family owned company, like anything that used to be true and honest and real, was bought up by a mega corporation. And Topo Chico has been bought by Coca-Cola, but the water is still the same. I'm told it's still bottled at the source in Monterrey, Mexico, naturally carbonated mineral water. Does it give me a TDS? Let's see, mineral water, carbon dioxide. No, I don't know what the total dissolved solids are. I don't know what minerals are in here, but 15 milligrams of sodium in a I don't know how, a 12-ounce glass. The glass bottle is nice. I do like a good glass bottle, but I don't know what all the minerals are in here. But it's I really like it. It feels. I like the bubbles. I like the burn on my throat. The minerals give it a nice taste and mouth feel, I would say, I guess, and it's quite refreshing. It says serve cold, but I usually just drink them room temperature. Because like really cold drinks kind of hurt my teeth. I'm very bad at dental hygiene. I do not take care of my teeth, and I'm never gonna get them fixed. And I'll be goddamn if I ever get veneers. I'm not doing that. Everybody now is getting these just uncanny big fake veneers. They all look like The Mask, like Jim Carrey, The Mask. They have everybody's teeth now are so unsettling. Just perfect and bright white. No one looks human anymore. Big veneers, buccal fat, like the buccal fat removal, BBLs, fake tits. Everybody's like cyborgs now. Like we're basically like so many people now are basically like early primitive cyborgs, and then I guess as time goes on, they'll get like they'll implement more and more technology to where everybody just has like big lips, sunken cheeks, fake teeth, big tits, fat asses, and they can control computers with their minds. But I'll never do any of that. I'm never getting my teeth fixed, but as such, it hurts when I drink cold drinks. So I just drink my Topo Chicos warm, room temperature. Anyway, this is how did I get on that? Oh yeah, Bert is fat. This is Cornfedbar. Jules, continue.
On Fully Loaded tour, me and Dan Soder.
I'll tell you what, if Crack Amico wants to freestyle on Fully Loaded, I'll bring him out.
Whoa!
So there you go. So Big J is on tour with Bert Kreischer. So maybe that's why all is, oh no, he's a fan. It's definitely not the Legion of Skanks humiliating you. You know, so Big J was worried about his little opportunity there with Bert on the Fully Loaded tour. And now we're going to hear Bert's got an invitation here for Crack coming up.
I'll tell you what, if Crack Amico wants to freestyle on Fully Loaded, I'll bring him out.
Whoa!
Trying to buy your friendship.
So the pain, and now there's happiness.
Let me tell you something.
I'll set that up.
The audience would go fucking nuts.
He's got to sing a positive Bert Kreischer song.
By the way,
You need Crack Amico to bend at the knee, just like I did for the fucking color.
Crack Amico, come hang out with me and Dan Soder on tour. Write a positive Bert Kreischer song.
Is he in the room?
No, he's not.
no,
He
he's
sent it in. He lives in like fucking. He's living in like the Blue
Florida,
Mountains of
I
North
think.
Carolina.
North Carolina.
Why'd you say that?
Listen, you can't. The guys watch.
Is that it? There they are. The Crack Amico.
Crack Amico.
All right, well, that's all that. I don't know if Bert knows what how rap and hip hop works. He said he wants Crack to come freestyle on the tour. I don't know if you. I don't know much about music, rap, hip hop, or any music really, but I don't know if you could just like go out to an entire arena full of people and just do improvised raps. I don't know if that's how it works. I think you would want to prepare something, not like freestyle to tens of thousands of people. I think Bert just thinks the word freestyle sounds cool, or he saw 8 Mile. But who knows how sincere that offer was. Crack, I've talked to Crack has mentioned this on the Crowder Boys on his own streams, and we talked to him about it. He doesn't think that that's a genuine offer that'll never manifest, but I think it does. Stranger things have happened. Hope springs eternal, and I fully support Crack. He doesn't have to bend the knee. I would say just say you're gonna do a nice song about Bert, and then don't, or make it like a sneak diss. Like it seemingly sounds nice, but beneath the surface, it's an insult, and Bert is not smart enough to pick up on that. But I want Crack to succeed. I want him to get the money, not just because I'm a fan of Crack. I consider him a friend and I support him. But the more he succeeds, the more I succeed. Now that we are creative partners and business partners doing our show together, the Crowder Boys, we lift each other up. And so I want him to get that money for sure, so I can get that money. It's symbiotic. But that was Redbar reacting to Dr. Drew, Ari Shafir, and the Legion of Skanks reacting to the Crack Amico song, the diss track he made, Two Bears, One Grave, in which he disses Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer, fells the two bears and buries them in the aforementioned one grave. And the bright futures ahead for all of us, especially Crack. His channel's blowing up right now, and I support him fully. Let's run it up. Let's get more people watching. Subscribe to Crack's channel, youtube.com/@CrackAmico. Go watch the actual song if you haven't. I'm sure like most people that are going to watch this or have probably already watched it. Subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Pruitt. We got a $5 tier, $10, $15, $25 tier gets you the Fraternal Order of Cornfed decal after 3 months. So it is $75 for a sticker. That's Patreon. And, you know, you get access to all the premium episodes and bonus content, no matter the tier. And that's patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Pruitt. And what a saga we were watching unfold. You know, speaking of sagas, you know, it does feel like a grand epic saga as we would see from like Dragon Ball Z. You know, the crack Amico is the I guess the Vegeta of comedy, so to speak. Rest in power, Akira Toriyama. Anyway, this has been Cornfedbar episode 4, Cornfedbar 4, Cornfedbar, the show in which me, the first billionaire podcaster, Dalton Pruitt, react to Redbar reacting to content. And so thank you. Thank you, and I love you. End.